Aloha! Hey, it's Julie Ziemelis, and I am here with Amber, and we have an announcement to make that every time I have said the word real broker with Amber, I've decided to go that way myself.
Oh my goodness, so
I
exciting.
have joined Real Broker because Amber and I are teammates, and I'm showing my support. And hopefully, Erica's going to be joining us next Monday, and we'll have 365 powered by Real Broker over here. And so, if you want to know more about what Real Broker is about, we can tell you more as we continue to do these video series. But the good news is that Amber and I are on this bandwagon of making sure that we get the best information for you from across the country and using digital marketing and really cool technology to give you guys great results and great service.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
the concept of real also is the fact that it's be kind. Be kind and also give great service. So obviously our buddy here, Amber's been doing that for at least 6 months now, and so I decided to jump in on with her. And also one of our other partners on 365, Delania Brandon, was also part of Real. So we are growing this team. So sorry we're a bit late. Looks like Facebook is going to be making us do vertical video, not horizontal. So the people over on my Facebook page are seeing it this way. People over on YouTube later will see it this way. It's all very interesting technology that it is. But we are going to be talking about the East Hawaii housing market. So we're going to let Amber go forth and prosper and tell us what's going on in the East Hawaii housing market.
Yes. All right, Amber Haley, also from Real Broker.
Yay!
Yes, so exciting. So yeah, we're going to be bringing you the same great stats and educational content, but now the whole team is going to be powered by the brokerage that I believe is going to do exactly what you said and get it to you in the best way. So yeah, I'm excited about that still. But yes, let's talk about the market. It's an interesting time. Like, I feel like over the last week, with interest rates, they like went down and then back up a little bit and back down. But rates are high, but there is still buyer demand in this market. So I have been working with a lot of buyers lately. So people are still buying houses. People are still selling houses. We haven't seen huge price drops or a crash or anything that a lot of people predicted and we're waiting for this year. But let's get into the stats that we have so we can see where prices are at in East Hawaii. Okay. So we will start with the Puna District, where for the month of September, so our last full month of sales, the median home price was $380,000.
Okay.
And
that sounds like it went up a little bit.
It did go up. It even went up from a year ago, where it was $350,000.
Okay.
So the Puna District is kind of the last frontier of affordable housing in the state of Hawaii, definitely on the Big Island. So I expect that home values will hold there, even if things go different in different parts of the country. And there is just a lot of buyer demand because there's a lack of affordable housing on this island. Right. So $380,000 compared to $350,000 a year ago. And
compared to $1.2 million in West Hawaii.
1.2. Yes. Now, that being said, again, that does include lava zones 1 and 2, which are riskier. And I am seeing things sit on the market a lot longer in those riskier lava zones, which is always been the case. Mm-hmm. But there is more and more, and if those of you maybe who follow the news on Big Island, I've heard it's on the news a lot. I don't actually watch that much news, but there's a lot of stuff kind of going on with insurance right now. Yeah. With even Lava Zone 2, it's a lot more limited. So that is going to affect things in all of the Puna District when we talk about stats. It's going to make people potentially have higher costs when it comes to buying in Lava Zone 2, where that... or 1, right, which it's always been hard in 1, but 2 is becoming more difficult. There seems to be, you can get that government-backed insurance, but that's an extra cost. So that will be interesting. That's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on because I work a lot over there, and I have a lot of clients who are very interested always in Lava Zone 2 specifically because it's not quite as expensive or impossible to insure as Lava Zone 1 or technically as risky, but yeah, I've been doing some different things, trying to negotiate with sellers on getting buyer credits to cover, more of the insurance costs for the first year in hopes that, there'll be more options for people with insurance. But that is the thing. When you are shopping in East Hawaii, you need to pay attention to lava zones. And that's something that I'm going to be paying attention to in our data to see how insurance companies pulling out is going to affect things.
Yeah. So, in fact, over on the mainland, so I was out there traveling just like recently, and I got a chance to talk to some homeowners who live in fire-prone areas, and getting insurance in wildfire areas is almost becoming impossible. And then you've got the floods, it's happening in the East Coast, and now those people in Florida are having problems losing their insurance. So insurance is definitely on the rise because the insurance companies are taking a massive hit with everything that's been happening. In fact, if you have a really famous guy that you'd like to talk to, maybe we just throw an insurance guy in the mix with us having a little chatty chat. And then make that a separate video so people can get more information about that. So maybe we'll work on that if you guys are interested in that. So go on.
Yes. Yeah. And it's important too, because most people are financing. So right now, if you're financing, you got the rates to think about with affordability and insurance too, because it all really comes down to your monthly payment.
Right.
So
and also your mortgage company must make sure that you have insurance.
Yes. Right now I'm seeing a lot of cash buyers in the market, and you still want insurance. You still need insurance, even if you're a cash buyer. But yeah, the mortgage is going to require it. So, all right. So that's what we were looking at. The year to date actually is interesting data too for the median price right now in Puna. Year to date, so if you take all the sales since January 1st of this year, the median price is $355. But the month of September, it was $380. So,
but that can also be an outlier. Someone bought some higher housing.
Yeah,
right?
There's always outliers. But what I will say that data does not show is, like a huge decrease or anything for what prices are doing compared to how we started the year. So that's kind of an interesting stat too. And I know people are always asking about vacant land. I don't always focus on the vacant land because there's just so much variability over in East Hawaii. But for those of you who are curious, the median price right now in the Puna District for land is $45,000. Now that is going to be factoring in a lot of really, really cheap Lava Zone 1 and 2 lots. So I am not saying you can get any lot. You probably can't even get a lot in Hawaiian Paradise Park. You can't for $45,000 anymore. Yeah. So, but I know people are always curious about land options. So I'm just going to throw that one in. And again,
to give you a little bit of how the differences between the two sides, Eric and I just got a listing, and we have open land, and it's in the middle of a neighborhood, and it's $430,000. And that's not even an acre. So again,
I can get you a house.
And also
on an acre.
You're probably 3 acres. No.
I could get you one of those too, probably. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So go on.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the Hilo district. Right. And so South Hilo, the median price for the month of September was $570,000.
That's going up.
That's going up too, and compare that to a year ago, $490,000. So that's quite a bit from September of last year. And then just because we talked about year to date for Puna, let's look at it for Hilo too. So the year to date median for the entire year is $511,000. So I can see that, same trend. We kind of are going up right now, or at least holding steady. I don't know that it's going to be a huge decrease. We, every month, if you watch every month, if you're a regular viewer, you might have noticed sometimes Puna's been a little down and Hilo's been a little up, and then vice versa. Mm-hmm. But we haven't had anything majorly dramatic happen. Now days on market are still slowing down.
Right.
Yes.
That's dramatic.
Yes. So on average for East Hawaii, it's about 60 days that things are sitting on the market.
Okay.
For Hilo, it's been a little bit less when you look at the stats. That is probably an inventory thing. There's just a lot less property for sale in Hilo. So things still will go a little bit faster when there's, a supply and demand issue.
Yeah. But when you say about how fast Hilo's going, are you talking days or are you still talking 30 days?
Oh, more than 30 days.
Oh, more than 30 days. Okay.
Nothing crazy fast. I mean, the only crazy stats I really saw for Hilo was during our, pandemic years.
Okay. So people are still kind of, chilling, looking.
Yes.
Okay.
But I will say, I mean, if there is something that comes on the market, you get a listing alert from me or somebody else, or you see it on Zillow, and it looks like a good deal, I mean, things that are priced properly and in desirable areas where there's not a lot of inventory and they're marketed well, those will always go pretty quickly. So you don't want to just sit back and relax and be like, I got 60 days to watch this.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's not the case. And I was just talking to Julie too about how I've seen things sit for so long, and then when I go make an offer, it's suddenly there's 2 other offers.
Yeah,
there's been no interest.
Because you know what though, and then this is a strategy. If you're looking for a deal, go for those ones that have been sitting in the market for 100 days, right? Mm-hmm. The seller might be tired. And you can go in and at least say, you know, what's it going to take? And it's interesting that maybe there is this like a conscious thing where all of a sudden it's like the ones that you go after. It's like this, like everybody else is thinking that 110-day mark. Let's go for it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another tip too is if there is like a price drop or like a second price drop, especially that will trigger a lot of action sometimes. Yeah. So if you have a property, you're kind of keeping an eye on it and you see a price drop and you really want it, let's get your offer in probably. Yeah. That's when that can trigger multiple offers kind of out of the blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
because there are a lot of eyeballs out there. Mm-hmm. There are people looking for opportunities on this island, and maybe they're not out in droves right now, but they're looking all the time. Mm-hmm. And they're going, okay, what's going to go? And when you see a second price drop, it's like blood in the water, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. What else I'm seeing as trends over in East Hawaii is listing agents are working really hard to sell listings. And that goes right hand
tell them the story.
With the long days on market. So I was telling Julie that right now I'm working with a lot of buyers. I'm not really working with sellers right in this moment like I normally do. So it's just I'm buyers all day. And I love working with buyers. But when I go and show, you know, a ton of property all week long and every single listing agent is working so hard to sell that property, I get a lot of phone calls of follow-up when my clients have already decided, you know, to move forward with a different property. And I've already given feedback to the listing agent on, you know, my opinions and sometimes my buyer's opinions. So that they have that feedback for their client as well. But I am still getting hounded. It's like you would think that they are trying to sell me the house. I was like, look, I don't know what else to tell you. I hear you. Yeah. I'm not here to buy the house. My client's not going to buy that house. But people, you know, it used to be real easy to sell a house.
Right. And you would never have someone call you after you've been on a house.
Yes. Yeah. Right? I've gotten calls and a second calls and emails and all of that. So it's good that agents are working for their clients. But yeah, people are trying really hard. And they're even saying, you know, just make an offer. Ask for something. Ask for you know, you want a new water heater. Just ask for it. Just ask. Bring us an offer. Just ask for it, you know? So sellers are willing to work with you. That's the message I'm trying to get across.
So there we go.
Now.
That's the trend. Sellers are every month that this thing continues on. Before it was like you get nothing. It's as is. Then it turned into, well, maybe I'll work with you on price. Now it's like this. Do you want me to roll out the red carpet when you walk in the front door, please? Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing I've seen today that I have not seen before is we are getting listing like little ads from Oahu.
Oh.
And so
for Oahu property?
Yes. Because that's when you know the market's actually softening, is when they start doing the whole, like, casting the net even wider on the houses they're trying to sell. And these are not multi-million-dollar properties. These are average schmo homes. So I know that the market is softening across. The market is softening across the Hawaiian Islands. And also, my guy who does real-time real estate statistics, and he owns the company, said that listings are starting to pile up. Days on the market is expanding, and the market is softening, right? Because this is what the Feds wanted. They wanted to raise the interest rates to the point where people pulled back, and therefore the sellers start going like this. Okay, what's it going to take? And then the prices start to go. Okay, I'll make a deal with you. Prices are not falling, but there's definitely that. Have the agent, make a couple extra phone calls, do a little extra marketing, see if we can get some more people involved in things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. People are working harder to sell real estate right now. But if I was a buyer listening to this, that would perk up my ears, because I know that it can be so hard with the rates being what they are, even though they're still historically not that bad.
Right.
But compared to what we all got used to, the good old days of 3-something%.
Those days are over too, just to let you guys know. So, we had our little update last week. Was it last week? Joe Egan was talking about 7% being the norm now. He said, you know what, don't expect to come down to 4 and 5% anytime soon. In fact, we've been doing the whole, marry the house, date the rate. And he's like, the rate is going to be probably 6 and 7% for a very long time. So literally, like, all you guys who've been waiting for the 2 and 3 and 4 and 5s, just, if you're going to buy a house, buy a house. That's all there is to it.
This is probably, the new normal of interest rates right now. So, you know what? When you have an opportunity, I would get in now before rates, maybe do dip. That might not be till next year. If they do, we don't know. No. But there are
now
opportunities.
It's like this. Just get in if you see a good opportunity.
Just get in.
Right.
And
work with sellers.
Yeah, right? Work with the sellers, make it easy for them, but also don't be afraid to ask for things, especially when a property's been sitting on the market for more than 60 days. Because I just told you the average right now is 60 days. Yeah. So that gives you more negotiating power. We can get creative and try and ask for different credits for things like insurance or to help you buy down points. That's a big thing that we can try and negotiate for you right now to help you get into a house in this market. I don't think, I'm always very, very careful when I talk about things being a good investment or not, because you all have seen the economics of the world and the way things have crashed and whatnot. But I really, truly do believe that investing in a home in East Hawaii is a good investment, not generally speaking, because I mean the demand for Hawaii real estate is not going to stop. No, I don't think prices there are going to significantly drop. We just talked about how mortgage rates, and we can just kind of expect this. Right. Probably around at best case. So, reach out. Let's strategize on what would help you guys get in the market with all these factors. We've given you, the median price, $380 in Puna. If you're looking for a property that has not the insurance issues that I was mentioning, you're going to be looking at a higher price point than $380.
And hence why Hilo is a higher price range.
Exactly.
Because it's a more safe lava zone, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And, but you guys, if you know, again, being on the mainland, you get a chance to talk to people who hate rain and cold, and they start around this time of year. We're talking like, it's mid-October. It's already snowing in Utah. That they go, this is the last year I'm going to freeze my ass off, for God's sakes. And if you're not wanting to spend $1 million and you want to have a nice tropical experience, the opportunities in East Hawaii are there to get into a house that's actually cute. And also, I'll tell you, we are having this big fight on paid parking here in West Hawaii. Yes. And people are like this, I did not move to Hawaii to have to pay for parking like they do in California. And my people over in Hilo and stuff, they don't have paid parking there. And you know what? And we went to Portland, and people are like literally, the gangs of people are walking and stealing shit off the street.
We got it so good here.
Yeah, we do. And you guys, seriously, the lifestyle of being basically, at least in a peaceful environment, full of aloha, you can't, it's more value than you would even know.
Oh, it really, really is. I mean, we both have relocated from the mainland. It actually took my nervous system, I think, a year or two to calm down coming here, because I was so used to the chaos of Southern California and not being able to find parking.
Yeah.
That's not an issue here. You can find parking.
This one guy, we did this video. If you guys want to hear our crazy paid parking video, we just put it out on 365 Hawaii. But one guy's like this. I'm on vacation. My time is limited. The last thing I want to do is just drive around and around and around looking for street parking because I don't want to pay $12. That's an attitude that happens on the mainland too, where it's like your time is short, where people who live here are like, not only, you guys, this is part of our lives here. They're like, not only do we not want to pay $7 an hour to park here, and now they just made some of these parking lots 3 hours for free. They have this, locals shouldn't have to pay for anything. We shouldn't have to pay for any parking. And somebody on the thing said, is that called entitlement? I'm like, no, that's called how Hawaii's been.
So that's so true. Yeah. I will say one funny story. The last time, which was a while ago, that I went out in the evening in Kona, I did get my car locked in one of those garages that I was apparently supposed to get a ticket for, and I was like, what? I'm a Hilo girl. We just park where we want, and the guy let me go. But I was like, I just assumed I could park wherever I want and not. Yeah, I forgot. Also, we're more laid back.
Do they lock people into the beach parks there too, or no?
No, I mean, they threaten it. They could. They might lock you in. If the sign says they will, don't take my word for it.
Most of our beach parks, like Kua, Wailea Bay, Beach 69, Puna, there's they lock the gates at night.
Yes, that I'm sure there maybe are some places in Hilo that have done that. I live on a block where there is a trailhead in a park that they say they lock it every night on the sign, and I've never seen them lock it once.
Okay. There you go.
And most places, yes, and I do know that from spending time over here. I'm always I've driven to some of the beach parks before and been like, the gate. So you guys seriously lock the gates?
Old airport. They start driving and go like this, okay. And you see, as soon as sun sets, and everyone gets a chance to go, the sunset. Then all of a sudden
you have to go. You get kicked out.
You're seeing everybody driving out and with the lights and stuff, because that guy who works for the county wants to go home.
Yeah.
And he's going to lock that gate.
Yeah.
And so, but I just don't see that level of over on East Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't have it. That's why I got locked in, because I assumed
'Cause you
that
didn't
we
know.
didn't have it. I was like, even if it was a
There you
sign.
go. So if you are traveling east to Hawaii, don't leave your. I mean, you can do whatever you want, I guess. But in West Hawaii, be careful about
Yes.
staying in any of the beach parks after sunset. But you'll basically get the clue because everyone is leaving all around you rather quickly.
Yeah, but
So-
even all that being said, it is still way more laid back in West Hawaii, East Hawaii, everywhere than the mainland.
That's
So,
true. That's true. That's true. That's true. In
Yeah.
fact, you know what?
These are our biggest gripes.
Yeah. They lock the gates at night. Keeps the riffraff off the beach. But I'm telling you guys, and I know some people who are watching are San Francisco, Portland, whatever. And I know there's a political experience. I totally get it. But I'll tell you, going into Target in Portland, and there was armed guards in the store, and then I asked why was the Tylenol all locked up, and the lady looked at me like what planet do you live on that you don't know that we lock up all of our over-the-counter drugs? And I'm like, what's happening? She said, we have marauding bands of people come in here and they take this stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that's just Target. Then we walked across the street to a place called Carthart, and it's like a men's clothing store. And the whole back of the wall was all in plywood. And I said, what happened? And they said, somebody ran their car through the back of the store, through the windows, to jump out and steal all of our shit. And I'm like, and you guys put up with this. And then we went to Nordstrom Rack, and there was another armed guard out in front of it.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, oh, they are not even realizing they're living in fear,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We
so it's
do.
different.
I'm like, oh, we are, again, I would pay to live in a place where I don't have to worry about that happening in my community. And you know what? We're lucky because we live on an island that if you saw some surveillance cameras of people doing that, you would know who they were. That's what happens on a small island.
Yeah, it's like self-police here.
Yeah. So in that sense, there's still aloha going on, and you can go to the farmer's market and you can get your food, and it's if you know people, and it's a nice experience, right?
So much aloha in Hawaii, and now 365 Hawaii is almost all, once Eric comes over, is almost all Real Broker, where it's nice. The culture is
Yeah,
so
the culture
nice.
is nice, because we're seeking out kindness.
Kindness gets everyone so much farther in business. That's why I treat all of my colleagues and coworkers kind, because I want them to work with me when I'm getting your offer accepted.
That's right. That is right. And you know what? Sometimes we don't talk about that sometimes the realtors will choose other realtors to work with because they know they're cool people.
Yeah. That it will go smooth.
Yes.
Yes.
And Amber's one of those people. Eric, is anyone from our Facebook page
Yes, we've got
alive and
a
kicking?
few things going on here. We've got Lance Bond says aloha.
Aloha, Bump. Lance is like having a good life. His wife
Tammy
posts
said-
pictures of sunrises every day.
Tammy says we've had some beautiful days here lately. And
So
Robert
beautiful.
Hampson says if you're clever and don't mind walking, well, you can always find parking.
It's
And then,
walking.
Tammy says they lock up spam on Oahu too.
Oh, there we go. So they lock it up. Okay.
And then Tammy says, "Yay, RB team."
Ah,
Yay! We're so excited.
365 RB team.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, is there any questions that you guys have for Amber in terms of East Hawaii? No. Okay. I will tell you though. I'm just before we sign up here. We're trying to have more of our live Zoom calls on the third Thursday of the month. Talk about your favorite neighborhoods for all the realtors on Hawaii Island that are in our group here. And we've talked about a variety of different places that you love. Just to lead out, is there anything that you want to share with like something that you've seen recently in East Hawaii, like a special like restaurant or an upcoming experience that people should know about in understanding East Hawaii a little bit more?
Oh, okay. East Hawaii, one of the new fun things that started happening this year was our Friday night market.
Okay.
And that's every Friday. It's always more stuff going on the first Friday of the month. First Fridays are a big thing. And then coming up, it might be after our next update, but Black and White Night in Hilo.
Oh,
is
that's coming up this
usually
year.
in November.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's like a giant party and everyone on the island is invited and it feels like everybody shows up. And that kind of energy is really fun in Hawaii because, especially in East Hawaii, things can feel really remote and quiet. And sometimes it's just nice to have something going on, you know? So downtown Hilo can be really, really fun and a great place to go on a Friday night.
There we go. Hey, Eric, can you look up the Black and White Night in Hilo? I think this year we should have to go to that because you know what? I'm looking for fun.
Yeah.
And also, you know what? I'll tell you guys, Hilo knows how to rock a party.
Yes.
Yeah. What do they call it in Hawaiian? Haulalale.
Oh, yes, yeah. I'm going to butcher it, so we can put it in the comments.
Yeah. It means massive party.
Yeah.
Have fun. And then also the Puna Center. No. What's the new?
Punakos? Oh,
Yeah.
The new one, the Punakai?
Yeah.
Yes,
Is that
okay.
where the Friday night market is?
They are having more and more stuff there at the Punakai. So if you live in the Puna District and you don't want to drive all the way to Hilo, here are my 2 hotspots for the Puna. Here's my insider tips. Oh my gosh, my friends are gonna make fun of me because I pronounce it wrong every time, and now I second guess myself. Kaleos.
Is it Kaleo? That's what we say.
Kaleos. Oh my gosh. So there is a second location that opened up at some point, maybe a year ago or so.
Yeah.
And it is like a local hub. Like it is a local spot. There's live music most nights of the week.
Oh, fun.
They're open now, I think even for breakfast, lunch. They got to go stuff. It's just a good time where if you live in East Hawaii, you live in Puna, like it's like where everyone knows your name, you know? Like you're gonna go and you're gonna see everyone you know.
Where's that?
So it's right off the highway in Orchid Land, like right by the Orchid Land General Store, in between, smack dab in between Hawaiian Paradise Park, Orchid Land Estates.
Okay.
And it's a good time. And then what Julie mentioned was the Punakai Shopping Center. There are some restaurants. I heard that there's a new like sports bar going in potentially as well. But there is the most beautiful grocery store, in my opinion, on the island there, the Malama Market, and there's some restaurants. I know that Coca Cantina has been doing, I think this Friday at least, they put on special events out in a tent there with live music. So it's definitely a hub for the community.
There we go.
And some more place, you know, they have a new gym and like all this nice stuff that we're just like not as used to way out in the sticks. So that's in a nice convenient location, and check out Kaleos as well on most nights of the week. It's a great place to
That's
be,
great,
so,
because I've eaten there before when there's one in Pahoa.
There's
Okay.
2 locations. So
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
Pahoa one I've eaten, awesome.
Yes.
And then I also got a chance to eat at the Coco's Cantina
Yes.
with my friend Tammy, and great margaritas.
They do have good
really
margaritas.
tasty food, and it's reasonably priced.
Yes, and so they have like a pop-up tent now outside, like a
Ooh.
big party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking for the party.
Yes.
You know what? Because it's just, the level of young people over there who seem to be excited about getting out and seeing each other is like on fire in East Hawaii
Yeah,
too. So,
yeah.
Okay, so I got a couple things to add here. The Black and White Night is November 1st.
Oh, so it is soon. Yes. Great.
Mm.
Before our next update, or at least this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, that'd be a great time to actually do because November 1st is the night. Isn't that where people put the Mexican masks on with the black and white faces?
Some people might, but that's not like the main thing. It's
That's
just
not
black
okay.
or white or both. Just dress in black and white.
And just have a party.
And just it's like the biggest block party I've ever seen in the state of Hawaii. It's so much fun just to have everybody come out. And all of the
Hallelujah.
yeah, all of the restaurants are open. All of the pretty much like everything's open and has something going on. Like there's like honey tasting contests and music and art and vendors and food and just excitement in the air. So
There we go.
it's fun for Hilo.
So a good lifestyle experience.
Yes.
So Eric can't seem to find any more updated information, but we'll drop it in there if you guys are looking for it. So
Lance always says hello too.
Lancey. We were trying to get a hold of you before the show there, Lance. But speaking of Lance,
he might have gotten back to
he's going to be giving the West Hawaii update tomorrow, and we'll be, of course, tearing into the paid parking problem here tomorrow, same time, same place. Anything else?
I think that's all for now, folks.
Okay. So if you are into sunrises and good opportunities for house buying, East Hawaii is the one. And we got Amber here to sell it to you.
Buy a house in Hawaii while you can afford it, people. That's all I have to say. I've never regretted a day in my life buying my house in Hawaii while I could afford it.
Yes. Okay, guys. So with that, we will say aloha.
Aloha.
We'll see you guys next month.